time. Hat, Bell Rose, Apollo Brown. We tell it like this.
All right, so let's talk about MLW Fusion from April the 21st, 2021. So news and notes. First thing, MLW will be on Vice TV. So whenever people tell you that wrestling is dead or dying or whatever, you need to realize these media companies are looking for more content. And wrestling is easy content. Everybody's getting a deal these days. Like if MLW is going to be on cable, then that should tell you that everybody's trying to get in the wrestling business. And it's not just wrestling. You also see a lot of MMA popping up. Like there's some MMA company that comes on now after AEW. There's also going to be another Invicta MMA. So it's not just UFC and Bellator anymore. There's going to be multiple different MMA promotions. It's not just WWE anymore and Impact. It's going to be now multiple wrestling promotions. So, the TV companies are starting to expand into what is called the combat sports arena. And even though wrestling is more theater than sports, it says a lot that you have these companies willing to purchase or at least buy into or at least give a platform to wrestling content in an age where people are complaining, oh, only 2 million people watch wrestling in a whole week. What about the 10 million that were gone so long ago? It's like they're signing up MLW. MLW probably is not about to get anywhere near 1 million viewers. And plus, for starters, I don't believe Vice isn't even in every home. So, you're probably looking at a company that's probably going to do maybe Impact numbers. But we don't know whether it's going to be an hour or 2 hours or what's going to change. So I'm just saying the product that I'm looking at right now for MLW will be lucky to get Impact numbers. That'll be a win for them. But I'm glad MLW is going to be on TV. Hell, the more wrestling on TV, the better. And these companies, these cable companies, they're trying, man. They're trying to get a hit. And if MLW has been around for 10 years, over 10 years, I think that MLW technically might be older than Impact. I think it actually started in like 2002 or something like that. But it had that time of it had some downtime. So I don't know if they're gonna buy the promotion, or if it's just Court Bauer. I know for right now it's just Court Bauer setting up for the show to air on Vice. I know this is probably going to end with Vice likely owning MLW. Maybe. Depending on whether Court Bauer is going to be willing to sell. So that's something that we should think about in the future. Is how many of these, like I know a lot of people was like, oh, WWE got this $1 billion deal from NBC because it's going to lead to NBC buying them out. Perhaps. But it's also an opportunity for everyone else. Impact and Ring of Honor, you don't have to worry about that because they're already owned by those promotions. By TV networks. So you don't have to worry about that. Sinclair Broadcasting straight out owns Ring of Honor. And Anthem already owns Impact. But is this, maybe Vice trying to get a foot in the door? Were they trying to start their own wrestling promotion? And so they basically we'll just co-opt this wrestling promotion that already exists. It's pretty small, but we can give them money. And if I remember correctly, I read an article that stated that New Japan actually was one of Vice's first ideas. That they actually wanted New Japan, but New Japan had turned them down. And they decided to go with Roku. Maybe because Roku is the internet and it makes it easier for people to see it. So, but MLW gets a big dub. This is a dub. This is a big success. I would keep my eye on maybe MLW getting purchased within the next couple of years. Maybe Vice will just decide to buy Court Bauer out. And maybe just have him continue to run it, but he'll just, but we'll see. But that was my first thought when I heard that they were going to be on Vice. And I was thinking to myself, okay, how long is that going to last before they come to Court Bauer and just say, hey, how about you just sell us MLW, and who knows? Maybe in the next 3 or 4 years, that's what we'll be looking at. And he could just take that money and start a new wrestling promotion. That's kind of how business works. Speaking of Court Bauer, he was actually on this show, and he talked about, oh, they have all these deals with DAZN and BN Sports, and that we're going to close out this season. He said, and the season ends on May the 5th with the big match, Myron Reed versus Leo Rush. This will be the last match of the season, and then they're going to restart on January the 10th with crowds in the 2300 arena in Philadelphia, the old ECW arena. And I was like, okay, so they're going to do seasons in MLW. It's going to be like a regular TV show, I'm guessing. They're going to shut down for a couple of weeks and then boot back up. It was basically for he said, quote, to give the athletes a rest. But if we're being honest, the athletes, it might just be we're trying to get this whole Vice thing together, But it's supposed to be starting in the spring. It is the spring right now. So that's the argument is like, oh, it's going to be in the spring. I'm like, it's spring right now. Like it's spring right now. So maybe they mean spring next year, or maybe late autumn this year. Who knows? But I'm actually looking forward to MLW on Vice to see what they can do, because Vice is a network where they'll let them get away with just about anything. So the first match was Gino Medina. Let's get into the show now. First match, Gino Medina versus Rocky Romero. It was a solid match between two guys I didn't like. I don't really care about either one of these guys. Rocky Romero won by armbar. I don't see anything in either one of them, to be quite honest. But Rocky Romero, I just see him everywhere. This match was, first of all, it was over 10 minutes, which is, it had no reason to be over 10 minutes. But I see Rocky Romero everywhere now. He's in Bloodsport, he's in Impact, he's in Ring of Honor, he's in MLW, he's just everywhere. And this, I don't know, man. I think he's probably just a likable guy, but I don't see why he needs to be everywhere. Anyway, the first promo was Richard Holiday and Alicia Atout. They were talking about Richard Holiday being the Caribbean champion, to which he said that the consumer niños love him, and he's a babyface there. He's using insider terms on TV, which of course triggers the hell out of me. And he's talking about, I'm a babyface. And then Alicia was like, you? He's like, yes, our merch sells like crazy. And he has this idea for this poster. And he said, I'm gonna give Alicia give you the first peek at it. He unveils the Hammerstone poster, which is the poster on the thumbnail. I think it says newest ride, longest line, and it's like a roller coaster down Muscle Mountain. And then Alicia Atout obviously noticed that there's a hammer shaped like a roller coaster right where Hammerstone's dick is. And she starts telling him about it, that's a hammer penis, that's a hammer dick. And he was like, what are you talking about? He's just playing completely stupid. Then he gets offended as she's telling him, like, you need to rethink this. Like, this is bad. Like, he got a hammer dick. You need to change this. And he was like, nope, this is the first draft. He just refuses to change that, he put a hammer on Hammer's dick. Which is, it was funny. I thought it was funny, at least. And I'm not really thrilled about the Alicia Atout and how much she does, but this was actually funny. Her and Richard Holiday. It's Richard Holiday. He's fucking hilarious. So I liked it. So then we got a promo from LA Park, who says that he doesn't agree with Selena and her going against El Jefe last week, and that Selena doesn't believe in Los Parks, but she benefits from their success, and they are the tag team champions. That when he lost to Alexander Hammerstone, she called him a dumbass. But he says that El Jefe is building a new temple, and if Selena fails him again, there will be consequences. So later, Selena De La Renta is on the phone. She's in the parking lot being loud and obnoxious as usual. And then her phone rings, and I guess it's El Jefe, because she gets real humble and contrite. She starts saying, oh, yes, yes. She starts getting all demure and meek. And she says, oh, yes, I will love another opportunity. And she thanked them, and then, one of the very strange tuxedoed men, well, he's wearing a suit, not a tuxedo. and he kind of knocks the cameraman down and gets the cameraman out of the way. So then, so Selena continues to be all over this show. They love her. They love her to death. They love them Selena. They love them the Selena De La Renta, man. She's everywhere on this show. So then we get a Leo Rush and Alicia Toot promo where, Leo Rush is talking about Myron Reed. Myron Reed has laid down the gauntlet, said that he's ready now to challenge for the title. He says that he, just picked the time and the date or whatever. And Leo Rush says that he embarrassed Myron Reed last time, and he knows he embarrassed him. Then he kind of plays with Alicia and starts saying, "What time is it?" And she looks at her watch and says, "Oh, it's about 6-ish." She's like, "It's rush hour. Ha, rush hour." This is the second time she's missed her cue on the rush hour thing. Anyway, later in the show, Myron Reed is cutting a promo in the locker room. He's with Calvin Tankman somewhere in Indianapolis. And he's talking about, wow, Reed I'm in the gym trying to make the doubters into believers. Leo was running his mouth, like you running your mouth on the internet while I'm in here working out. I'm studying you, the young GOAT, hot fire Myron Reed. And of course, I already said their match will be May the 5th. It'll be the main event of the end of the season finale, as some would say. The second match on the show was King Mo versus Robert Martyr, which was essentially a squash match with the referee stopping the match via a cravat, which is pretty vicious. And for some reason, King Mo had an umbrella that was open indoors. There was just no reason for him to have an umbrella. It was just weird. So then Dan Lambert gets on the mic and starts talking about incompetent refs who never been in fights, who stopped the match. King Mo never tapped out, and that he should never have been considered to have submitted to Low Key. And then King Mo was like, "No, there wasn't no tap out. And when I see Low Key, I'm gonna break him in half." And I was like, dude, this feud was like 3 months ago. Like neither Low Key or King Mo have been on TV in like 3 months. Look, I get it. You don't want to burn through the feud, but bro, I forgot this shit even happened. Like when Dan Lambert picked up the microphone and just started talking about dumbass refs, I thought he was talking about this referee in this match who stopped the match because, Robert Martyr got choked out. I was like, oh, okay, so he's dogging this referee for saving Robert Martyr. And then he starts talking about King Mo losing. I'm like, what the fuck? When was this? And then it was like, what was that, Filthy Island? That was 2 or 3 months ago. Yeah, at least I'm sure it's at least a month ago. I have seen neither head nor hair of King Mo or Low Key in at least 4 weeks. Like, you can't just spring this back up on me, dog. Like that, you can't just spring this back up on me like, oh, it's not over now. Like, what are you talking about? Clearly, I'm out of it. I'm out of the loop, dog. I'm out of the loop. All right. So the next thing we can talk about here is Tom Lawler talking about Divine Erics. And basically he talked that Divine Erics can't stop talking about him. He's tired of them saying that they're good friends or they're good people. That he brought Divine Erics to the MLW and they haven't showed him any loyalty. Then he says, "Marshall, I'm talking to you. Are you going to hide behind a bum knee or are you going to fight me man to man?" Marshall Von Erich then cuts a promo later, which he says that, when he got a title match to wrestle Jacob Fatu, he believed he was going to win. He said, I still believe that I am the silver bullet to defeating Jacob Fatu, but I'm going to handle you first. And then he starts talking about how he's going to put the claw on him. He's going to make him piss himself. He's going to make him crap himself. And he's going to, beat the hell out of scared old Tom Lawler. It was actually not bad. It was not a bad promo. Probably the best Von Erichs promo I've heard in a long, long time. And basically, they told the story of Marshall Von Erich is his injured leg. They told it last week. They told it this week. He's got an injured leg, but he's going to fight Tom Lawler anyway. And obviously, he's just going to give him an excuse to lose to Tom Lawler. This is Court Bauer, of course, trying to protect Marshall Von Erich. Bold decision. Let's see if it works out for him. All right, so the last promo before the main event. Well, there was two promos. There was Joseph Samael promo, and he's basically talking about Court Bauer, and he says that, oh yeah, it's been a while since I made you bleed in your office, and I can take over MLW whenever I want. But Hammerstone is crippled with fear and terror as Jacob Fatu sits upon his throne like a god of war. And that the black flag of Contra will fly over Philadelphia on July the 10th. And there was some more evil, almost Skeletor-like lines coming out of Joseph Samael. And then, of course, he's Contra. At the end of the show, Alexander Hammerstone had a press conference where he says, basically, I'm tired of there being two heavyweight champions in MLW. And there should be only one. And he says that he challenged Jacob Fatu. So I'm guessing that's going to be the main event of their July 10th show. It's going to be Hammerstone and Fatu. Okay, I think that should be the main event for their first match on Vice. So is that going to be the Vice episode, the July 10th episode? So July 10th is a Saturday. So you could do I guess you could have it be the first main event for the show. I think you start with a bang. If you're going to be on Vice, start with a bang. Go out with your two big guns, Hammerstone, Fatu. First main event on Vice. Don't bother giving it away on YouTube. That's silly. All right. Don't do that. Save it. Put it on the big show where more people can see it, and there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be actually interested in watching it. And then it's going to be two guys you built up over 2 years. It can be title for title. It could be really big. I love that idea. You know, go ahead, and I'm guessing Hammerstone's about to win the title and be double champ and let that ride. That could be great. The main event of this show, however, was TJP versus Buku Dao, which I have no idea why this match was over 10 minutes. I know they have been building up this story of Buku Dao fighting his mentor, TJP. But not every match that you built up should be a main event. This had no business being the main event of this show. It probably should have started the show. But then again, looking at the rest of the card, ain't much. This probably was the best match on the show. But they could have done something else, really, because who cares about TJP and Buku Dao, like, really? But this show was chock full of big news. You know, again, them being on Vice, the title for title match, the Reed Rush match that's coming up. So they're doing big things over in MLW. They're actually moving, making some noise and moving some things around, shaking some things around. So this is good. You know, let me know what you guys think, though, in the comment section below. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for your time. Send cash via the Cash App, or subscribe to the channel via Subscribe Star. Like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later.